So, on the way back in we go. We've got Arctic Monkeys, Blossoms and Fatherson today, and a few other people. Not any major rush, there's not a lot of other people I want to see today, but see when we get in there. We're just chilling right now. Hey guys.
Hello. I'm going to the gym.
Anyway, we've got about just over an hour before we go see Blossom, so we've got a lot of time to kill. To be honest, there's not a lot of bands apart from these guys and Arctic Monkeys, like I said earlier. And we've got Fatherson from Kilmarnock a bit later on, so we'll see in a bit.
Everywhere she goes, I don't know if it's love that you want. All the love I want, here she flows, standing beside a river road. See as I miss you, sailing on to England. How beautiful is that? It's a lonely love I know. Wrapped in desire, she cries. Let me know. Let me see where I am. Staying on to England. How beautiful is that? 'Cause lately it's a lonely love I know. Should do with you. You tell me every day that I'm all yours and it's okay, but no, you don't know. And you tell me you know you did wrong. You tell me you know I belong with you in my favorite room. With you, how do I feel? Pish.
So, Blossoms were pretty good. Now watching the second stage on the hometown boys, Fatherson.
Listen to the silence. Listen to the silence. not as kind on the eye. Well, are you out tonight? It's harder and harder to get you to listen. Or I get through the gears, incapable of making alright decisions and having bad ideas. Now it's 3 in the morning and I'm trying to change your mind. Left you multiple missed calls and to my message you replied. Why don't you call me when you're high? Why don't you call me when you're high? I can see you in wonder where you know that you're loving me because you're sending me to this town. Without sounding you calling me, I don't think it's very fair. Your shoulders are frozen, on the order exploding. Your name is a real one, I don't like the sound of lighting. I fuse my results and I'm back where I'm back. I bet that you look good on the dance floor. I don't know if you're looking for romance or don't know what you're looking for. I said I bet that you look good on the dance floor. That's a good joke, man. I'm a robot from 1984. From 1984. I'm watching you on Captain. I just bang at you, that DJ Central. The greatest you never saw.
Well, I bet that you look good on the dance floor. I don't know what you're looking for romance or I don't know what you're looking for.
Darling, what did you expect? I probably still adore you with your hands around my neck. Or I did last time my cheek. Not shy of a smile. The knife twists at the thought that I should fall short of a mile. Frightened by the Bible, it's no harsher than the bar. Middle of adventure, seems like the perfect place to start. I'm going back to 505. If it's a 7 hour flight or a 45 minute drive, in my imagination you lying on your side, with your hands between your thighs. Alright, it's down to what it was last night. You could turn around on a Sunday. And that girl's a different girl today. That girl's a different girl to where you kissed last night. You could turn around on a Sunday.
Well, what can I say? What an ending, what an end. Perfect ending to my weekend. Holy shit. Anyway, get a full review when we get in. Wow, what a weekend that was. And I'm now absolutely sunburnt to a crisp. You see my neck right here and on my nose. Back my next fun, so put a lot on there. But anyway, so let's get right on to the point. So, what an eventful weekend to say the least. Although one thing I will say about today, and well, more specifically yesterday on Saturday, was far too many people than there should be. I think from last year, I've heard the max capacity for Glasgow Green's about 50,000. I think there must be more than that yesterday, but it was for this simple point. So, Originally, I think the whole thing was sold out, both the Saturday and the Sunday, off the back of Liam Gallagher and the Arctic Monkeys headlining yesterday and tonight. But I think due to the demand, they had to add more day tickets, and they only just sold them out like just this weekend. But it was a bad idea because I think they overcapacitated a little bit anyway. Not too sure about that, but that's just my opinion. So we got in, and first thing yesterday, we went to see the La Fontaines. Now, as I might have mentioned at the start of the vlog, Jay Huss was meant to be playing later on in the day, and Jerry Cinnamon was meant to be on first. However, that all changed this past week. Well, I knew it was going to happen for about a couple of weeks since Jay Huss pulled out because he's been arrested down south for knife crime, and he's currently on remand until the 20th of July. So I knew he was going to get pulled out anyway. And the better thing was, Jerry Cinnamon got moved up to the 4:55 slot, where they got the La Fontaines to play first anyway. So they were pretty good. Bear in mind, I've never actually seen them before, but from what a lot of people have said, I've heard pretty good things about them, and they didn't disappoint. They were good at getting the crowd going and all that, so it was good. And at that time of day, when there was not a lot of people in, it was really good. So that was that. And then, so the reason why I haven't got many shots of myself in the vlog is because just in general, it was just really hard to get footage with all the people walking about and all that, and there wasn't really much else to film apart from last year with a lot of stuff I saw. So, but a lot of the improvements they had with the McDonald's McFlurry truck, they had the water points and that. But the one thing I will say about this year was that the queues were horrendous. Like, that's the other thing when I think they're overcapacitated a bit. When you see long queues like that, but literally all the stands, all the stalls, you can tell that they have too many people in. But anyway, so let's get on to the rest of the band. So, saw them. Next band we saw was Shed 7, now a band from the 90s, and I had a bit of an infatuation about them since I heard a couple of songs of theirs like a year or so ago, and I thought, well, yeah, they'd be good to see live, and they didn't disappoint as well. But I only got to see the song, it was two songs I like, Getting Better and Chasing Rainbows. I only got to see Chasing Rainbows. I don't know, this was a funny thing because everything was kind of running a bit of schedule. I think they were meant to go on at 2:30, but they ended up going on 10 minutes before that, I think. And yeah, so I got missed the start of the set because we spent most of the time when we were there just chilling by the utility power tree, like between like seeing bands and stuff like that. So we were all in the one place. But anyway, so that was that, and then waited for a bit, and then went to see Jerry Cinnamon. Now, I could not believe this. Until last year, not a lot of people knew who Jerry Cinnamon was because he's a guy from Castle Milk, just a guitarist guy. And he put out his own album himself, and to be honest, like, I thought it was a bit like, wow, really, just like this guy. But after hearing the song Belter and that, I thought, yeah, he's going to be huge. So yeah, amazing crowd for that, and just everybody in it together was just fantastic. Like 50,000 people just for that was just unbelievable. So, and pretty much gave Ed Sheeran, he played Hampden like a few weeks ago, and played like 4 nights, 50,000, pretty much gave him a run for his money anyway. So that was that, and then we had a bit of a break in between, and to be honest, I thought this was a bit bizarre because I thought there'd be more people going nuts for them, but no. We saw the Cortinas, the next band we saw, and to be honest, their set was very, like, I'd say much chilled compared to what I thought they were going to be, but no, come Not 19 Forever, Cavorting, the stuff off St. Jude that they did, that was absolutely fantastic, so I thought that was amazing. And then the man himself, no, I've got a few mixed feelings about this, and those mixed feelings come from when the start of the song happened. Now, bear in mind I wasn't the golden circle for this, but a bit back, the start of Rock and Roll Star. Now, I apologise if anybody saw me doing this, but now usually I'm not a big pit enforcing kind of guy, and well, not that I would do that at these sort of places, like these sort of festivals, but be honest, Rock and Roll Star, everybody's meant to go mental in my eyes when that drop happens. Like, nobody in their right mind should stay still when that drop comes in. Everybody was just standing still a bit. I was like, why aren't we moving? What's going on? But what more than made up for it was he played Morning Glory afterwards. We had a big mosh pit for that, so that made up for it. But this is where my mixed feelings started coming in. So for anybody who was on the left-hand side in the golden circle nearer the back will know there was a big full-on fight that broke out between these two absolute rockets last night. Luckily I didn't get any footage of it because it was just awkward to watch anyway. Like, it was just embarrassing. And I'm surprised I didn't notice it and didn't stop the show because of it, which was a bit stupid. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But didn't ruin the night in any way. But again, it's just like, seriously? If any artists do that, if you're an up-and-coming artist or in a band, if you see that happening, stop the show immediately and get security to shut them out, because it's just not acceptable when that happens. Moshing, fine, but seeing that stuff happens, no, not acceptable. So, that was that. And the next part of the night, his songs were still brilliant, but the thing that kind of got to me was the fact that now that everybody was there, there was a guy who climbed, I think, the left-hand side back speaker tower, and it was hilarious to watch, and it was quite funny, but it got to the point, during cigarettes and alcohol, you stopped right in the middle of it, and had to tell the guy to get down. And for Liam Gallagher, I thought he was actually quite mature about it. He was like, right, mate, you're going to have to either come down or you're going to have to jump. And everybody thought he was going to go off stage because he had to stop because of it, because security were like really worried. But in the end, they just decided to keep on playing, and the rest of the set was good. Played Wonderwall, Live Forever, and a load of other stuff, which was absolutely brilliant. So he is really worth all the hype. So that's that. And last but not least, on to day 2. And be honest, so there wasn't many bands I really wanted to see. The only bands I really wanted to see today were Blossoms, Arctic Monkeys, and the band from Kilmarnock I've known for a few years, Fatherson. So yeah, I walked in about 3 o'clock, and I took a bit of a detour round to the east entrance, and I'd never been there before. Well, I went out there last year when I saw Radiohead, and I'd never really seen much else of it, but to be honest, it wasn't that different from the west entrance, like what it looked like wise. You thought like you were going in either entrance anyway. The only difference is the west entrance has the big arch thing, so that's the only difference. If you've ever been to Glasgow Green or go TRNSMT, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so went to see Blossoms, they were good. And it was quite funny, they were a lot more rocky than I thought, but yeah, they were brilliant all the same. Like, obviously, they're going to be a bit bigger in a few years, but yeah, just a lot of the songs they played, like, start of the first album, they played my favourites, Blown Rose, Atmos to Kiss, Getaway, stuff like that. And they played Charlemagne to end with, which was brilliant. So it was good. And Fatherson, they were good. Now, they've been away for 9 months because they're originally an indie band, but from what I've heard, I think they've signed to Sony, so yeah, if you've never checked them before, go check them out. I'll leave a link to a few of their songs in the description. But then, I had a bit of time to kill in between then, and everybody was on site for the Arctic Monkeys. Now, tonight, it was funny, I think it was really busy again, because this was the first UK show they'd announced back in about 4 years after they went on hiatus, and this was their first, like, proper UK show back, so I think everybody was out in force for it. But anyway, so we were trying to get in the golden circle for that again, but we ended up just stuck at the left-hand side of behind the barrier for the golden circle. And to be honest, we thought it was going to be an absolute disaster because of the fact that we were all boxed in together, and we thought, oh God, there's just way too many people in. There's people coming in, out, just moving about, and like, when that happens, please bear in mind, see you guys space in there and you've got a good space to stage when the headlines about to come on, that sort of place. Please don't do that. It just puts everybody off. It's just too much hassle. But anyway, so they went on. Opening with one of the songs, the main single off the new album, 4 out of 5, which was good. Good opener. Reminded me of when I saw Blur in the Barrowlands a few years ago, and they played a song off their album, Go Out. It kind of reminded me of that a little bit. So I'll leave a link to that song in the description as well. But that was 4 out of 5. Now, I thought they were going to play Do I Want to Know afterwards, but nope. Played Brainstorm afterwards, and then we started making a bit of space round about us, and then that made me feel like, oh my God, this is going to be so much better. So after that, everything was fine. And then I couldn't believe the next few songs apart after that. So I think it was Don't Sit Down because they've moved your chair. And then one song I've really wanted them to play live ever since I got into them, The View from the Afternoon, was the song that kind of got me more into them in the first place. When I heard that, I almost completely lost my shit. It was absolutely fantastic. Like, I just couldn't believe it. And I was up on my brother's shoulders for that. So, just one of the best moments ever. Like, when I've witnessed, then they played Teddy Picker, and then they played a few more songs off the new album. They also did a bit of a section of AM, since that was the album that got a lot more people into them as well a few years ago. And that was that, but Dance Floor. Now, to be honest, this is just my personal opinion, just in recent years, and it was the same when they did AM a few years ago. Dance Floor didn't really impress me that much. It's still a good song, and everyone still goes nuts to it. But just in general, just how slow they play it these days just didn't really impress me that much. But that's just my opinion anyway. But compared to how fast they played it back in the day when they first came out, you just think, oh my God, that's just too slow. But anyway, moving on to the encore. Did the first song for the new album, Star Treatment. And it's funny, I had the little cube thing that was like projecting stars onto it. But then the next song, honestly to God, I thought I'd never hear them play this song in my lifetime. From the Ritz to the Rubble, and I just went absolutely mental. Like, just hearing that live just made my night, and just made the two shows I saw by them. I saw them a few years ago before I was doing gig vlogs. The two shows I saw on the AM tour at the Hydro and T in the Park completely outdone. This show completely outdone them by a country mile because of those two songs, View from the Afternoon and Ritz to the Rubble. And the close with Are You Mine with a big mosh pit at the end. Went down in the end because everybody was going mental, but no, it was fantastic. And that was that weekend. So that's Transmit done for the year, and our next gig is just round the corner. Actually, say festival is round the corner, and our first ever gig outside of Scotland, Rock Worship in Belgium. We'll be going there on Wednesday. We'll be doing a few social media updates. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. I'll be doing some updates on there. Not like today where those last couple of days I couldn't really get data and all that. Same with a lot of people because everybody's packed in together and because the data was so condensed and everyone was saturating it. Like, that's why you couldn't really get in signal unless you send in actual SMS messages, not iMessages, actual text messages, or like if you're lucky to get phone signal, you got that. But hopefully when we're in Belgium, it should be a different story, despite the fact we're going to be in another country. But yeah, it should be good. And then something over this weekend has just come my attention for a gig we're going to see next month in August, when we see Catfish the Bottom along with DMA's Twin Atlantic, a band we've seen before. Frank Carr and the Rattlesnakes have been announced to support them as well, so that's going to be absolutely fantastic. Make sure you stay tuned for that. But apart from that, I will see you at Rock Worship. See you later.